Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Hey everybody, it's Tuesday night, time for another live Wicked Horror Show. I'm Kevin, and as always, I'm joined by Tony Has Nine Fingers.
What is going on, people?
And you had asked about Angel, and I thought he was going to try to pop in later, but he's actually here. Angel's here as well. What's up, Angel?
What's up, guys?
What
And
up?
our very special guests, I want to, Matt Fisher, first off from Boombastic Films, writer, director. Welcome to the show, Matt. Welcome back to the show.
Well, thank you very much for having me back. It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Yes. And actor extraordinaire, a.k.a. Man About Town, Alexander Hauck.
Yep.
What's going on, sir? Welcome back.
Yeah. Glad to be here.
Yeah. So we were having you on to talk about special treatment and whatever else comes up. So Angel and I both had the pleasure of seeing it on the big screen at the Dead of Winter Horror Festival, first year for that. That was just like a week ago, right?
Yeah, weekend, I think. What t-shirt are you wearing?
Oh, I'm wearing the shirt that I got.
Oh.
It's I got the VIP package just so I could get this shirt.
Look at you.
Yeah. Because I'm a t-shirt man myself. But yeah, so Angel and I had the pleasure of seeing it on the big screen and got to hear the laughter from the audience of and Angel thought it was hilarious as well.
Yeah, I dug it.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Tony pointed out that as soon as he got out of the van and started dancing, I'm like, yep, that's where people right away was like, yep, that's what's up. So for those who don't know about Boombastic Films, because we do have some listeners that are in other parts of the world.
Shout out.
Yeah. I wanted to give a little rundown about your style and stuff, Matt.
Well, Boombastic Films is myself and this gentleman over here, Alexander the Hauck, and our style is just like kind of homegrown indie film. It's not a lot of money rotating around the circle, but we make do with what we have, and we're both gigantic fans of all genres, so we try to dip our toes in as many genres and themes as we can.
Yeah. And like I said, it's all low budget stuff, which that's where the charm is, in my opinion. You find people are just you find fun ways around things, and
be creative,
yeah, definitely. And that's in my opinion. And Tony and I have talked about it a lot. That you're forced to be very original in a lot of those situations. So
yeah.
And I know Alexander, you've acted in quite a bit besides Boombastic stuff. We've seen you in some other things as well. Did you work with Max Cherky as well?
Oh yeah. I worked on a film called Adrenaline that we shot in Romania. It was released by Lionsgate. As far as I know, only in Germany. I don't know if it's been released anywhere else. I can't seem to find any way to get an American release copy. I've been trying since it's gone out. Which I'm like, I really had a lot of fun in it, and I thought I played a great character, but I have yet to see it. I have yet to actually witness it. So maybe one of these days, Lionsgate will actually do an American release. Even if it's just for me to get my DVD, that's all I care
about. Yeah, exactly. Or just so you can see it and maybe add some stuff to your reel or something, that's but you're all over the place. I've seen you're out in I've seen that you were out in LA and stuff like that for a little bit, and yeah, you're all over the place. That's awesome. And yeah, what are you doing out there? You were hanging out with James Balsamo or something out there?
Actually, no, not this time. Actually, the latest thing I did was actually in Las Vegas. I did a film called Bikers versus Werewolves. A lot of Oscar buzz behind it, you know. Yeah, next year I'm just waiting for the call. You know, get the tux. You know, go down the steps. You know, shake hands with Scarlett Johansson, and
smell your hand right after.
For me to get the Oscar for my role as Deputy Wilson in Bikers versus Werewolves.
As long as you do the dance up the stairs and back down it.
For you, I will do that. I will do
the dance the whole time you're giving your acceptance speech as well.
Yes, and people will be like, "What the heck is he doing?"
Wait a minute, special treatment. I knew I saw it somewhere. Yeah, Billy Coyne's in the chat, and Sergio's in the chat as well, saying what's up. Yeah, Billy Coyne. Billy Coyne is the man. He's a visual effects artist, and he did the visual effects in this. But yeah, he went to Tom Savini school, right? Billy Coyne.
And the makeup designer, yeah. Two of the biggest schools for makeup. Billy is the man, the maestro, they say.
And he's just a good dude.
He's a great dude.
He made me look so beautiful as Patches.
Yeah, he did the clown makeup on the gentleman. Very good, very good.
Yes. But yeah, it's we see Billy at all the cons. He's a man of many talents, and also a fantastic hairline. I do have to say that makes a bald guy very jealous. You see that hairline, you know?
He does have a nice coif.
He's a great kisser as well.
Oh,
yeah, I mean, if I can kiss him out for a little bit.
Oh, Billy.
So special treatment. You want to talk a little bit about the ideas for it, like what spawned special treatment?
Yeah. Tell us about it, because I'm looking at the IMDb page and it says the plot is unknown at this time.
Very unknown. The we're very proud of the Hauck man over there, killing it in the acting world. You know what I mean? Nobody's prouder than the Hauck than myself. But special treatment. So special treatment came about pretty much. The last legitimate short that we did before this was a short film called Insomniac. And it was 35 minutes long, which is kind of too long for a short. You know what I mean? We kind of feel like you take the time that you need to tell the story. So we're happy with the time, but definitely as far as festivals go and stuff, we were trying to do something in the 15-minute mark. And around the time of this, it was, I don't know if you guys remember, but Home Depot pulled a clown mask from their shelves because it was scaring people. There was police shooting people dressed up as clowns for a little bit. So it came from kind of that era. We wanted just to make a really weird, funky, fever dream, wild, crazy movie. We did The Gathering of the Juggalos before, right before this kind of came about too. And I've been an ICP fan for many, many moons. Alex is not so much, but that's cool. And the Juggalo show a lot of love, and I think a piece of that was kind of why we wanted to kind of tap into that, because I feel like they would have appreciated it, and they did. But that's kind of where the idea for it came from. We started shooting right before COVID broke out. I feel like a week after we finished shooting, it was lockdown. There's a lot of the shorts that were at Dead of Winter, there was a good amount of them that were all COVID shorts, you know.
Yeah.
We should do an anthology film called COVID Shorts.
For real. Yeah.
It'd
be pretty sick.
Just 6 shorts.
Yeah.
Hey, I like that. That's good.
And Stephen Bull. I'm a big fan of Matt. Rock on, Matt.
Hell yeah, Stephen. Much love. Stephen's a good dude.
So yeah, I know you have a long time fandom of ICP.
Yeah.
And their fans are intense. They stick together and they're all about it. I was never a huge fan. I've seen them a bunch of times. And I enjoyed their stuff, but it wasn't a thing. It wasn't my life. You know what I mean? Some people, they're all about it. And but yeah, I got to see them a bunch because I was an assistant manager for a record town back in the day.
Okay.
And the reps would show up and be like, "Hey, we're playing. Here's a bunch of tickets."
Yeah,
So I was like, I'm going to see ICP tonight. Like, you know, I would just go. I think the last time I saw them was on was the Psychopaths from Outer Space.
Psychopaths from Outer Space tour. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the last time I saw them, and that was at what was the place in Providence? Not the Living Room.
Lupos.
Yeah, Lupo's Heartbreak Hotel. That's what it was.
That's the first time I seen them too.
Oh, really? That was awesome.
Yeah. I remember the speakers fell on us. At the end of it, everybody was rushing the crowd, and it was like a group of us, and we seen the speakers start to shake, and they started to tumble. And you know how, like, when you think you're about to die, everything goes in slow motion?
Yeah.
So, like, I remember just, like, seeing them come, and I turned my back on it, just getting ready for the fucking hit. And I'm a big dude, so, like, it just knocked me forward, but it, like, fucked up some people.
Yeah.
It's okay. You know?
Yeah. I think if I mean, I don't know if it was the same show, but I know when I saw them, there was a show scheduled the next night for a different group, and they had to cancel it because there was soda everywhere.
Yeah.
Soda.
Yeah, they had like big laser beam guns that they were just shooting soda like all over the place. It was great, but it was like, yeah, this is going to be a bad time cleaning up.
Yeah.
But yeah,
why you guys canceling? There's a lot of syrup on the ground.
Yeah, we're gonna stick to the stage. But Sergio's asking if there's a trailer. There isn't a trailer, but you can go to the Boombastic Films YouTube page and you'll see a bunch of other stuff that they got up there, right?
Yeah. Wow. If they want to check out the film's only 15 minutes long, so we didn't really think we needed a trailer for it. But we got a Patreon page that's up there if anybody wants to go check it out for Boombastic Screaming.
What's the Patreon link? You got a link?
Yeah, Patreon. I think there's a link in here somewhere in maybe the description. But Patreon is kind of like you're not familiar with Patreon?
No, I am. I was just
okay.
It was like / Boombastic Films, whatever.
Yeah, streaming, whatever.
Yeah, it's the links in the show description and everything, and it'll be on the for the audio side as well. And also the YouTube link is there as well, Sergio. So you can always go check that out, and you can check out some of the stuff there, and then you can go to the Patreon and watch the full length stuff.
Believe it. Yeah, there's the YouTube. The YouTube at Boombastic Media does have a whole bunch of stuff like our podcast. We do Boombastic Cast, where we interview a bunch of like cool people. There's a whole bunch of miscellaneous shit that they have down there that you'd probably like. Whatever.
Nice.
You'd be surprised. You said you guys recently started mixing things up with the podcast, right? You said you kind of changed things up a little bit. I thought you said no,
not so much. I mean, no, not really. Just I mean, we entered in a new season, but it wasn't much of a change up.
Oh, for some reason I thought you said you switched things up. Okay, forget it then.
Maybe I don't think so. Alex, did we? Did you not tell me?
What are you doing over there?
I mean, we're constantly adding and trying to get more, things on the roster. Our big thing is trying to have, podcasts that hit like every bit of genre. And I mean, we got, we got, of course, Boombastic Cast, which, is more of the pop culture interviews. We got Dead Kids of Derry, where we kind of Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Oh, nice.
All Stephen King films. Oh, yeah. We got Mostly Ghostly, dealing with paranormal. We got.
I'm all about that. Just letting you know.
You were on Mostly Ghostly once.
Yeah, it's I'm about the paranormal stuff. So, yes.
You can't forget Blood and Bud. Billy is watching.
Yeah. And also Behold the Pale podcast, which is our conspiracy truther one. So yeah, we're constantly looking and adding more stuff, and just trying to keep things lively and try to hit everything. And if there's something that you can't find somewhere, sooner or later we'll have it. That I can promise you.
Yeah, just reach out to them and be like, hey, how come you don't have any podcasts about this? Then they will have one.
Yes.
We will find how do you guys have time to do stuff? Like, you guys seem very busy. That's a lot of podcasts. I complain that I'm involved in 3 podcasts. That's not really complaining.
Well, me and Alex are only a part of a couple of them. We do the Dead Kids. We do Boombastic Cast. We're part of Behold. I do some mostly ghostly, but we got like the lighter side of serial killers on the network we're not a part of. Trauma Mama's podcast, but we're not. We got a Wicked Juggalo Pod Trash. So if we did every podcast, it'd be that'd be a scary thing.
That'd be forever. You would never make a movie again. Yeah, that would be crazy. So how long did this? Yeah, how long did Special Treatment take to make? Because it looks like, was it like? I know you said it was during the pandemic, but was it like extended over a long period of time?
Yeah, we shot it right before. It probably took I think we took like a weekend to shoot it. Once pandemic came in, the editing process got kind of extended just because like nobody was really kind of going out and gathering and stuff like that. And so that we had it all edited up by the time the pandemic was over. But yeah, it was a far stretch. Like once we shot it, we kind of sat on a little bit while we were trying to figure out if people were going to be alive and then an audience to release it to.
You ain't kidding, bro.
Then once we knew that they were going to hold out and be alive for us, then we got it ready to go out.
Yeah, you're like, I don't even know if we need to edit this. Ain't gonna be no people left.
That mentality was kind of there. It was such up in the air. They're like, who knew what the fuck was?
Yeah,
I think with that, it was just like some of the when you said you kind of ad-libbed the dance and stuff. How much was it like? Like, was there like a script there, but then people kind of just went off of it? Because the one scene where the one woman opens the door, I laughed too because she's like, the kid's in the back. His name is Anthony. He's got the blue bear or something. Whatever she said, I cracked up laughing because
it was very natural. It was very natural.
Yeah, that was Mary Phillips. She was a great actress. The only things that weren't scripted in the film really was that dance. In the script, he just gets out and walks to the back. And for some reason that day, I was like, why don't you try dancing? Like, that'd be kind of fun. I think we even did some walking takes and then we did the dancing thing last. And without a choreographer there, this guy broke out them moves. Dude. He just did it,
Hey, what can I say? I just took the moves I use at the nightclubs every night, and if you want to see my moves, check out Special Treatment. And the ladies love it, especially when they bring out the clown makeup. They go crazy for it. That's what I'm saying. Women love a clown in the bedroom.
Getting the cream pie.
Yeah. You're looking for new stuff for your podcast network. You can have a dancing podcast. Tell everybody how you do your moves, and have a live action one, almost like a workout tape kind of deal.
You can do one of those.
Holy shit, dude! A workout video like the old school days. VHS.
Yeah, I was thinking just have 2 cameras. One of them just on feet, and the other one on the top. But the feet are obviously just someone's hands and some shoes just dancing.
Every time I'm on the internet, there's one where it's just a bunch of white people and they're showing us hip hop moves. But then the hip hop moves from the 80s. She's just you pop and lock it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. So just bring that back.
So Sergio's asking if you believe in real ghosts.
Who?
Matt. Sergio's asking. He's asking Matt if you believe in real ghosts.
Yeah, I do believe in real ghosts. I actually have an exclusive ghost story of a little something that happened on the set of the film. Believe it. So we're shooting the scene with the kids in the up in the they're getting ready for the clowns, and the first thing we shoot is the kids on the couch. And they're kind of going, yeah. And then to flip it, I go, all right, you guys, let's, we'll take you away from the couch. And I sat on the couch to shoot. It was Ethan and Chris and Alex. And when I sat down, I heard this growl. And I was like, well, that's weird. And I looked to, there was somebody else on the crew that was kind of like a paranormal dude who says they sense those things and such. So I go, did you hear that? And he goes, yeah, I heard that. And then it was broad daylight, a bunch of people around, the scariness of it left pretty quick. We had a movie to shoot. So we finished the day. Behind the couch, it's a window with a pot that hangs in the window. And I remember before I left, that day I asked the homeowner, I said, you ever have anything weird happen in your house? And they're like, every now and then I'll look over in that window and that pot will be kind of spinning. And I go, that's interesting. So the next day, I was still thinking about it. And I remember like, I looked up the address. I typed into the Google to see if there was like maybe something happened in the house. And I started finding out that there was this guy that died there. And I started looking a little further, and I noticed that he had like some sex crimes under his belt. And I couldn't go too deep into it. I just knew that he had like, he was in trouble for it. And then it clicked in my head, and I go, well, what was going on when I heard that growl? And the growl was when I told the kids to move from that spot. So I actually think that it was like a dude that liked kids. The ghost is like a dude that liked kids, which is horrifying.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
Pedophile.
It makes it extra creepy. Yeah. Ooh, don't tell your parents.
It was super creepy. It's like, it's the darkest of the dark. I couldn't sleep for a little bit. That's how, like, it just gave me goosebumps. And I was like, Jesus, dude, that's
extra scary. That's extra scary. Like, it's scary enough for a kid, like, if there's something going on, let alone it be that kind of ghost.
That type of, yeah.
That's weird.
That's crazy.
So
that answers your question, Sergio.
Yeah.
And,
I do believe in spooks. I do believe in spooks.
And I put it up for a second, but Billy Coyne wanted to. Hauck has the moves like a drunken baby drunk.
Oh.
Hey! I only can do those moves because I was taught by Billy Coyne.
Hey, there you go.
Word.
It's true. He had the leg warmers on and everything during that.
Throw a little hair in there and fucking.
Yeah.
Sell it.
Like Farrah Fawcett back in the day. Whatchamacallit? I was going to say something. I forget what it was.
Hey. It happens. Farrah Fawcett, weird ghost, dance moves.
Oh, there's some of the delivery of the lines from Alexander made me laugh as well. Like he was like having a conversation on the phone, then he would like emphasize one word that was just like, it's just out of the blue. Was that on purpose? Like, I know it was on purpose, but was that planned, or was that something he's just like, I'm going to just do this weird? Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's funny. When I was doing the whole conversation on the phone, one thing is that you go over the lines, you practice them, and you practice them usually like one or a couple different ways. And then, at least with me, is when I get on set. Usually everything I practice is like out the window because something else either influences me or, depending on who I'm going with or the situation. And it was funny because we were doing the whole scene, and before we even have that, I'm sitting there with Christopher Long, who's playing Giggles. And, we're doing the thing where, it's all silent and I'm just laughing to myself and all that. And I was thinking like, when you normally have a conversation with someone, it's like pretty normal back and forth. But thinking about these people that live in like this, clown like, mentality, that when they try to talk normal, it's not normal because they really don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
And I kind of just saw him talking in like almost a sing-songy kind of way. Yeah. And that's why I gave emphasis on different words, because I just wanted to give it like something just kind of weird and unnerving. Something like
no, it definitely was
a little uncanny valley touch.
Yeah.
Like it's like something that's not human pretending to be human having a conversation.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of it's almost like think Christopher Walken. He has a very distinct kind of speech, and that's why when he plays his characters, it's so interesting because it's not normal speech, and I thought I'd play around with it, and Matt liked it, so went with it
too. I thought it was very appropriate and very good. You said Christopher Long was the other clown, right?
Yeah.
Giggles, aptly named.
He's saying, "Hey yo," he's in the chat.
Yo.
What's up, sir?
What up, Chris?
And then Stephen Bull, Matt, you said you heard the weird growl when you sat on the couch. Maybe you sat on the ghost.
Maybe.
Like,
Hey, just for the record, I've had him sit on my lap before. It hurts, so I can understand the ghost being a little upset with him sitting on.
Yeah.
Sergio's asking if you've seen The Ring. For whatever reason. Yes, I've seen The Ring as well.
Rings too.
The Japanese, I like the Japanese one better.
Ringu.
Myself.
Ringu,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Explains more about the character. But yeah. So what else do you guys have? I mean, you have a ton of stuff under your belt. Would you compare this to anything else that you've done? Like, what would this pair nicely with?
This really isn't much like anything else we've done. It was kind of like almost a test and just trying to make something weird and wacky. You know what I mean? It was like, let's just get out there and shoot something. You know what I mean? We didn't shoot anything for a little bit. So it was just like oiling up the gears again, you know, and just kind of getting out there and do it, have fun with it. And yeah. You know?
Yeah, I mean, you even had I'm not to give anything away, but like, even the cut scenes and stuff like that with like all the weird like weird editing and graphics, and then that because you have to answer a question of why, right? Or maybe like give a glimpse, and then when you do it, I was dying when you get to like the science part of it.
Yeah. We added like a brainwashing element to it with like the MK Ultra thing. So I was looking at like that. All those images came from like brainwashing videos that I found on YouTube.
Yeah.
So we took.
It was a little Clockwork Orange.
Yeah. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Now, is it you think about ever making it like a full length? Because that, as I'm watching it, it reminded me more of like the movie Stitches. I don't know if you ever seen the movie Stitches. It's like a UK film with the clown.
Yeah.
But it definitely had like that like goofiness vibe. It was like a horror comedy type deal.
Yeah.
And we mention it many a times because usually we bring on people for like full length movies, but we had a couple people on for short films. And we, sometimes it's you get what you want in it, but then sometimes it's like you want a little bit more. So for this one, it's definitely I'd want to see the two kind of go to different go to different places. So was there any thought in making a full length out of this one?
Not so much on my end. I mean, I love the characters, but like I don't know. I think we almost kind of said what we need to say with that. Like I said, it's not really. There's not really like a message in it or anything. It's just supposed to be like all out wackiness. You know what I mean? Like insanity. Just messing around, like the scene where they're sitting at the table and like he's laughing for no reason.
Yeah.
It's all silent. You know what I mean? Like that was kind of like the vibe that we're going for. Just like, what am I watching?
It was silent, but you could hear Alexander like breathing in.
Yeah.
I thought made it even better. He's like, he's just like, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It made it even creepier for me. Billy's saying real quick that Alex's makeup was inspired by Sid's in House of a Thousand Corpses, and Chris's was inspired by Demonic Toys.
Oh, hell yeah.
But yeah, so maybe you have another movie where down the road you do some camera magic and you just see them in the background somewhere.
Some corporate gig.
Yeah, I'd do. It'd be good to like, if there was a clown, if we had clowns in another film, maybe a party, I'd have them painted up the same way to like pay, homage to it, so to speak.
Even just walking by the background, like filling up a thing from the punch bowl or something. Or
we're working on a feature-length film right now, The Wicked Hollows, and at one point in the draft, it's not there anymore, but at one point the Patches character was in it. Where we kind of have a flashback scene. It ties the short and the new film together. Like there's a sheriff that's in the sheriff played by Ray Booten, who comes at the end of this film, is in the next film as the same character. So it's kind of like in the same universe, if you will.
Nice. What's you said that you're shooting that now, or is it?
Yeah, we're shooting. Yeah. we started late last year. We took a little break for the holiday, and then we're popping back into it in a little bit. We got 3-4 days left on it, I believe, and
Nice.
that's we've been trying. That's the Wicked Hollows film. It's based off of like the Bridgewater Triangle, loosely based off of So
nice.
Yeah,
that sounds sick though.
Thank you, man.
Someone's saying hi to Tony. Sal Rodriguez Jr. saying,
What
"Hey
up?
guys."
Yeah.
What's up? How's it going?
Saul.
I'm assuming he's one of your TikTok people.
He is.
Welcome aboard, Saul Rodriguez Jr.
Bienvenido.
Yes, exactly. So like, because I don't make movies, I just watch them. You said you have like a few more days, like worth of filming left. Like what is the, because you're completely independent, low budget stuff. You don't have, everyone's got jobs, so you're not sitting there all day long just doing the editing. How long does it take you to edit a full length like feature, like on average, you think?
I mean, I usually pass that off to an editor myself, but Alexander the Hauck's an editor. He can probably speak on that.
Well, I mean, it's going to be interesting because most of my editing has been for the podcast. So, I mean, the longest podcast I've done was about 3 hours, but it's just basic edits, cutting things and then putting pictures in. It's going to, of course, be quite a bit longer with the Wicked Hollows because not only do you have to make sure everything's in the right spot, but make sure you bring in the music, play with the audio and all that. I don't know. This is going to be my first feature that I've edited. And I'm still learning. I'm still, just practicing and trying to learn the ropes. So I'm hoping to, get it done as soon as possible. But I can't give any sure way because
it's going to be this date. It's going to be done. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing isn't going to be doing that. I'm still doing the podcast, doing the film stuff. I mean, so I got a lot of stuff on my plate, but I will definitely be trying to get it done as soon as possible. Otherwise, Matt will kick my butt.
He'll be thinking about it at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got it. I got Matthew. I got it. It's coming.
I got it, Matt.
If he gets mad at you, just start dancing, and he'll be like, "All right, I'll give you a little bit more time." So Saul, he said he came in late, so he's asking what we're talking about. So the lovely guests here, Mathew and Alexander, they Boombastic Films. It's their production company, and they have a short film called Special Treatment that Angel and myself just saw this past weekend at a film festival out in Massachusetts, and we wanted to talk about it. And he's like, "Hey, let's come on and talk about it." I'm like, "Yes, absolutely," because we both really enjoyed it. Tony got a chance to check it out as well, and so that's what we're doing right now. We're talking about that short film and other Boombastic stuff. Saul, if you go to the show notes, like either here or on the audio side, you'll be able to see the links to their YouTube and their Patreon and everything, so you can go show some love over there. And Matt jumped out and he's jumped back in.
Hey, there you are, Peter.
I don't know what happened.
You left real quick.
And you came right back.
I think the ghost just jumped.
I'm slow.
Oh, that's right. That's what happened. But yeah. So how many, like, because we all know a lot of filmmakers. Some of them pump out a good amount of films a year. What is your goal, like, as far as you're taking your time? It seems like between films. So what would you be comfortable with? I mean, at some point, fingers crossed, this is something you guys can do as a living. That would be sick, I'm sure.
Right. It'd be nice. Yeah.
So what's your what do you think, like, your end game would be, like your goal for productive output?
For just making films?
Yeah.
I'd probably like to, I'd be comfortable with making, we used to pump out a lot of shorts and stuff, and that was fun, and that was like a different time. I think I'd more likely make a feature maybe every like 3 to 5 years or so. It's really a money thing. It's a matter of finding the budget to make it. You know what I mean? Nobody really wants to work for free. You know what I mean? It's one of the curses, I think, of the big old Hollywood coming to Massachusetts was the fact that it was paying everybody whatever they wanted. So when it trickled down to like the indie people, that kind of hurt them in the sense of like, you can't just pay someone $150 to stand in the background like Hollywood can. So they don't understand that. They go, well, why not? You know what I mean?
Yes.
So yeah, I'd probably like to do them. I love making films. And if I had budgets, I'd make as many as I could. But more realistically, I'd probably, every 3 to 5 years, maybe do a feature, maybe shorts. I don't even know. I know Alex is killing it with the acting, so he's running all around. We're doing our show. So realistically, just kind of looking to stay steady with the podcast and, every handful of years, get out there and make a feature and, keep plugging at it.
Yeah.
Now, when you do your shorts, is it like casting call or is it like people that you're just like, hey, I'm gonna do a short. You want in, or how does that work?
Yeah, it's pretty much just that way. We don't really do casting calls. We've been kind of in the community for a long time, so we kind of have a good idea of who's here and who to work with. So, and we're with the shorts, we're not going too crazy with them. So it's pretty, you can make them for like a handful to 10 people. You know what I mean? It's not a big crazy seeking thing.
Yeah,
because with like casting calls and stuff, you might be able to find some people that maybe it's their first gig and they're like, listen, I don't want to get paid too much. This is my first time. That might make it a little bit more difficult, but at least at that point in time, you could be like,
well,
three's even better. Yeah.
The tricky part, not to cut off Kevin, but the tricky part of new people is like they're not fully even sure they want to do it yet. So like once you like, we had an issue with the Wicked Hollows where we casted an actor and he was tagged into the film for almost a year during COVID. Table reads, director actor discussions, and then when the first day came, guess who wasn't there? You know what I mean? And it was an issue because everybody else was there. And when you plan a shoot to have all the characters in the scene, and one of them doesn't show up, you kind of can't do those scenes, and it's expensive because then at that point you can't really send people home empty-handed without working, because on a low budget they might never come back, if you know what I mean, if you waste their time like that. So like there's bumps and bruises like that you gotta, I tell you, like the soul of an indie filmmaker is torn, got band-aids all over that thing, you know what I mean? It's a fucking hard road for sure. Getting people to care as much as you care about what you're doing is probably the hardest part with making a film, but we love it so much that we go through the torture, you know what I mean?
And that's what I think that a lot of viewers don't understand that. Like they're thinking every movie is Hollywood money, and well, maybe not that, but it's just like some people just don't realize what it takes. I mean, not that I was blind to it beforehand, but doing this podcast, my eyes definitely opened up more than I ever did before. Like just hearing some of the horror stories and stuff like that. It's like, okay, now I see, how, maybe they gave the rights to like a company and they put it out and it was nothing what it was supposed to be in the beginning, but they got it released. So, hearing, lower budget or, independent people being like, we do it the way we want to do it, how it comes out is like budgetary wise or whatever. But I don't think a lot of people realize what, many a times I said, oh, I would do this completely different in my head. But then hearing, how hard it is, I'm like, I'll just let the people who make movies do it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. If you want it, you got to be prepared to suffer for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, one of the things that I always find funny because, when I am at work and like some new hires come in and they find out what I do, they're like, oh my God, you do film? That's awesome. Must be. And they're like, oh, I love acting. I'd love to be a part of it. I'll help you out. And the fact is that most people, they love watching movies and they look and they see, Brad Pitt, and all those walking down the red carpet, and they're like, man, I could so do that. That would be awesome. But none of them actually think about how much work it is to, to put a film together. I mean, even those that have millions and billions of dollars of budget, I mean, sometimes they have to do reshoots and reimagine. And then, that all that money is down the drain. And then of course, if the film comes out and it doesn't hit with audience, then all that money's gone. And
yeah,
I mean, it's the same thing with indie, but on a very smaller scale. But the hardship is the same, and it's also harder to get people to stay around because everyone's going to say, "We'll be your best friends. We want to be a part of this. This film will be a great experience for us." But when it comes down to like, "Hey, can you come down and shoot today?" Oh, but this football game's on. I want to watch the football game. Can I do it tomorrow? It's like,
No.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
I mean, we brought everyone in. We put money into, craft services. We get everything together, and they're like, "Oh, can I just do it, when I want to do it?" It's like, no, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, like quick rewrite.
Yeah.
Your character's now dead.
Yeah, quick right. Yeah.
Like
you never existed. Yeah.
A fun fact for people that want to get an inside scoop of it, like that first day that we couldn't shoot anything, we still lost like $700 not shooting anything, just because the people that were there that needed to be paid. And like I said, you can't, even though you're getting fucked, you can't just let the cast and crew get fucked too. Yeah. It's just not right. You know what I mean? Like, as the helm of a project, you kind of have to take the beatings, you know what I mean? Yeah. And but yeah, it's very discouraging at times, but that's more reason why it's just going to be something you really love and want to do, you know what I mean? Otherwise you're gonna get eaten up in it and fucking break it. It sucks sometimes, for sure.
Well, I guess for you it's probably because you're probably a good person. I'm sure in the history of filmmaking, I'm sure people have gypped at it like, "Oh well, we didn't shoot anything, so no one's getting paid today." So
for sure.
So yeah. I'm sure on different.
I drove 2 hours to get here, my guy.
Well, I guess you got
your car's good on gas because I ain't paying you. Yeah.
So I'm sure it's happened before, but it sounds like more of a stand up.
I've seen it happen before, unfortunately. You know what I mean? But
I personally, I'm the kind of guy that I'm like, all right, I'll be there. And when the guys from the Talking Dead were shooting a thing up in New York, they're like, "Hey, you want to come get killed?" I'm like, "All right." And I drove up there. They didn't pay me to be there. They bought me like dinner.
Yeah.
And I didn't even have to do that. I would have bought my own dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. But I'm like, that's the thing is there's people out there that are, are not. I get it if people are trying to survive,
right?
But helping out friends is a different thing,
Speaking of the Talking Dead guys, Ben shows up in special treatment.
Oh yeah,
Makes fun.
Is there a reason why his name is backwards in the credits?
When I got to IMDb, he was already credited that way, so I just kept with it.
Okay,
that was really it. Yeah, name is Bartlett now.
What's up, Bartlett?
I thought it was weird too, but that's how it is. So I'm not. It could be his creative thing. Some people don't like to use their name sometimes.
Yeah.
Who are you?
True.
Call me whatever you want.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That guy from the comic book.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, it was cool to see him in that as well. And
this dude too, Ethan Rogers.
Ethan's great. He's in the new movie too. Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. He's in Stray and the what's the dude's name? Justin's movie. The
coffee one, right?
The what?
The coffee maker. The one with the coffee maker. I think.
No, it's what's his name from Red? Is it Red Lantern Pictures?
Oh, yeah, I know.
Rusted Lantern.
Black Vulture.
Yeah, that. Yeah. And then he's in that other short too. The one we saw at Happenstance before the fire alarms got pulled.
I don't remember.
Oh, I don't remember that.
At Monster Expo, remember?
Yeah, Monster Expo, yeah. Someone pulled the fire alarms because they're jerks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. At a convention or just like a...
Yeah, it was
at a convention.
It was Patches.
I couldn't even...
Don't tell anybody!
He was like... just like the wheezy laugh. just dancing around out back. Yeah,
I couldn't imagine that at like I don't know how big that
it wasn't as big as like Monster Mania or anything like that. It wasn't like that, but it's still it
I'm
sucked.
sure there's a couple hundred
because it was like probably the last 45 minutes of the show.
Yeah,
and like they had to wait. So like by the time everything was done, everyone was ready to go. So if you wanted to get anything, good luck.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Billy Coyne's saying that he's the cake eater.
Billy's in there too. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. The movie I was talking about was Sanguinary. No, okay.
Was from Dead of Winter.
No. I'm saying that Ethan was in as well. The one I couldn't remember.
He was in one at Dead of Winter too. Made me laugh. Where he was like, I'm talking about being unemployed and like punching his chest. That was funny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Ethan's super talented.
Was that the Chris? What's the name? Chris Salvi one? Was that with?
That was that Justin dudes too. That I think you said.
Yeah.
A different Justin, maybe. Yeah. There was a lot of good stuff there. It was fun. It was a good turnout. The fucking theater was beautiful.
Yeah, I was talking with James. I was like, "This is fucking awesome."
That place has been there since like the 1800s. That's like it's a historical landmark. And it's got like, according to whatever, it's got like some of the best acoustics in like the world.
Oh, that's the one you were showing pictures of last week or the week before when we didn't have a guest.
Yep. So people come like for classical musicians and stuff. They travel from all over the world to record their albums there. And also I played there when I was a kid in the All City String Orchestra and the All State Symphony.
Yeah.
I played the upright bass.
And you didn't even realize you were going to go.
Yeah, I didn't care. I didn't care as a kid because I was in like junior high school, so I didn't care. It would be like, "Hey, you're playing at Mechanics Hall." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I forgot." And I'm wearing a Megadeth T-shirt, so figure that out.
Well, shout out James Lamond, fellow dad.
Oh yeah.
Much love to him. Without James, we probably wouldn't have got the invite to be there. So like, much love to James. You know what I mean?
Shout out. Pew, 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 pew.
And from what I understand, it's going to be a continuing thing for at least a while. So
I heard some rumors of that.
I don't want to say anything out of hand, out of pocket. But yeah.
Now, was it a full weekend or just one day or
just one day? They're talking about maybe next year doing 2 days. So
how long was that one in New York that you went to? Wasn't it like 4 or 5 days or something like that?
The one that I went
to?
New York?
I thought you went to like it was like a couple day festival.
Oh, there was, yeah. You talk about the film festival?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like almost a week long. We only went up for like the weekend. But that was, I forget what it was called. It was Greg, the guy who made Slime City and Slime City Massacre. Greg, I forget his name. I'm sorry.
I know the flex. I know the movie.
He runs it. So yeah, he invited Leo and I went up there, and they actually did a screening of Return to Nukem High up there, and then I got to meet Zach Amico up there. Interviewed him.
The best.
Yeah, he's a funny dude.
He was on the Boombastic cast. He's a very funny dude. I gotta give big kudos to Zach.
Yeah.
That guy does everything too. You name it, he does it. Wrestling, cartoons, comedy, indie film. He's fucking on fire.
Do you listen to any of his other podcasts?
Oh, Zach's, yeah, dude. I listened to like Real Ass Podcast, his
Midnight Spook
Show. Yeah, hell yeah.
So Wolfie's correcting me. It was Buffalo Dreams Fantastic Film Festival is what it's called.
There you go.
Yeah, it's in a weird spot. It's in a mall, but it's like I don't know. It's a cool spot. I got to see some really cool stuff there, but it's like
that was
literally like a week
Squares one.
Yeah, I saw a documentary about quilting squares, and it was made really well. I was like, I never thought I would ever care about quilting squares, but that documentary, I was like, wow, you made me actually. I paid attention this entire time. This is crazy.
Yeah.
It's gonna drive me crazy. I have to look up his name at some point. But either way, so do you have like a dream like subject matter? Like, is there something that you like? It's like feasibly, like right now, it's like kind of like out of grasp for you financially. Is there like any kind of cryptid or any kind of like certain kind of something that you've thought about in down the road? This is something I want to kind of try to tackle.
No, I mean, I've always kind of knew what I had to deal with. So like my ideas aren't that boombastic, we'll say, you know what I mean? I kind of, even if Hollywood opened up its loving embrace and welcomed me in, I'd probably be more of like a Kevin Smith person who takes, like 5 million, 10 million, 15. I wouldn't want to do no like $100 million movie. I feel like, you lose that much money or something, it's a wrap. I'd rather play it safe and be able. There's plenty of films like, themes and plots that I like that I could really kind of dive into with like 5 or 10.
Yeah. 100, 200 million. They're like, how much should it make at the box office? Exactly. You broke even. You're fired.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, Boombastic definitely sounds like it would be in that like Kevin Smith universe with like. Yeah. I could see like a Jay and Silent Bob spinoff or something like.
When I first saw the clowns, my first thought was Vulgar, which is kind of not Kevin Smith, but it's in the same world.
Ryan O'Halloran,
right?
Yeah.
Dude, I remember the first time I saw that movie and he said the line, "I'm gonna make hate to you, boy," and I was like, "Holy shit!"
Did Brian Johnson direct that?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. It was so long ago, but I'll never forget that line.
I think Brian Johnson directed it.
He might have,
because I think I had him sign my copy of it.
Let me see. I'll look it up right here live.
But anyways, Greg Lamberson is the name of the director from Slime City.
Okay,
yeah, that's what I was like.
Yeah,
he's a good dude too. Like if you ever get a chance to speak with him, he's a good dude. So kind of the same question that I just asked Matt, but for Alexander. Yeah, is there any kind of role that you would like to tackle that you haven't had the opportunity to tackle yet? Because I know you've done a lot of different kinds of roles.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. There's a lot of, if I was to sit down and list like all the types of characters I would love to play, I'd probably be here till next year. Because I just like doing anything and everything. I as you can probably tell with like Special Treatment, I really love kind of like crazy, weird characters. I would love to play. Not necessarily a supervillain from like Batman or something like that, but like a character that you wouldn't be surprised to meet in Arkham Asylum. Okay. Something like that. With no ties, just by itself. Someone that's just that just over the top, just nuts. I like that. I'm a huge fan of like the old classic, like Lon Chaney Jr., Wolfman, Boris Karloff, Frankenstein. One of my favorite classic stories is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I'd probably have to say, thinking about that would probably be the most iconic character I would love to play. I love the duality of, person with the both sides, because I believe everyone has the good and the bad, and the constant fighting between that is always interests me.
Yeah. I agree. I think everyone does have that, and usually the bad side is just won't shut up in my head. Then I'm like, all right, I can't say these things out loud to people.
See, that's what acting is great for. Okay, all the bad impulses, every bad thing,
get them all out. Yeah,
just get them all out on the screen. And you get a chance to play a crazy character, just a little all out, and then you free yourself of them.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, Billy Coyne saying that some of the shots felt very much like Vulgar. So That's not a bad thing, because Vulgar is that's a movie that left an impression for sure.
Yeah, before Clerks 3, because Brian O'Halloran was like the goofy or whatever, but like from Vulgar to Clerks 3, that it was like that's where it showed his like acting range.
Yeah. I still haven't watched Clerks 3.
Oh, it's a tearjerker.
I heard it's a tearjerker.
That's what I've heard.
That's why I'm afraid to watch it. I don't want to be a crying man.
Oh, but I mean, I think that's like the only way that you could have ended the series. But let's just say, as a 38-year-old man, I was bawling my actually at that point.
You got to think I'm 10 years older than you, and I don't want to be crying either.
Yeah.
Have you seen it, Matt?
Yeah, I've seen part 3. I like part 2 better. I think part 2 is a great sequel. I was like blown away at how great part 2 was.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's when the pullback at the end of part 2, they do the pullback and it turns to black and white with his mother, right? Or is that part 3?
No, that would have been part 2, I think.
Yeah, that movie. That's the one that I thought was like that I thought was like very emotional. When they're in jail, I think, and they're talking about like how he's worried about losing his friend. I thought that stuff was really cool.
I'll see it eventually. I just have to.
You haven't seen part 2?
I've seen part 2. No, I've seen part 2.
That's all you need.
Oh. I will see part 3 at some point. It's just a matter of I want to make sure I'm alone in the house.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the weekends that the wife goes to the casino, and I'll just be like, all right, I'm just gonna get a big old jug of ice cream and sit there and sleep away, and then I'll cry even harder because then I'll remember that I'm lactose intolerant, and then everyone will cry. Saul saying Clerks 3 shouldn't have been made is way too emotional.
100%.
But that's not. I mean, it shows Kevin Smith cries at the drop of a hat. So let him express himself. I love.
Well, it was always the movie after his heart attack. So.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, it's actually we only have a few minutes left, so I want to make sure that you guys are able to promote what you have going on. So. Alexander, let's start with you. Where can people go to follow you? And do you have anything besides special treatment or anything that you'd like people to check out? By all means.
Yeah, I mean, right now, you can find me on Facebook, Alexander Hauck, Hauck. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on TikTok. Pretty much on all social networks. For me right now, focusing on Wicked Hollows with Matt right now. We got about 4 more days. This coming like in 2 or 3 weeks, I'm going to Vegas again to be a part of Infernal, which is a film directed by Eric Mathews. So that's pretty much what I got right now. I got a few other things that are in the pipeline. And of course, you can always see us on Boombasticast, Dead Kids of Dairy, all of our podcasts. Constantly working on those. So I mean, that's pretty much my life in a nutshell.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mathew, yourself?
I watch that guy talk and I get so proud of him because I remember him just like, kicking around the old fucking underground of acting. And
yeah,
the dude's not all over the country, all over the world, man. Big kudos to the Hauck, man. I'm on social media too. The only things that really matter, I guess, is we got the Boombastic Media YouTube page where that you can go see all our like shit for free. That's up there. And then if you want everything, the whole deal, we have a Patreon at Boombastic with 2 O's streaming. Boombastic streaming at the Patreon is kind of like a fan club. Come be a fan of ours. Thank you.
Yep. And Angel, what about yourself? Where can people follow you?
Just hit up That Strange Show. We took a little break, but we'll be coming back soon and keep an eye out for some stuff that we'll be dropping, and then myself will be dropping some things I've been working on here soon. But yeah,
nice.
Word up,
Tony.
You can find me at Tony Has 9 Fingers on YouTube. where I do movie reviews, unboxings, anything movie related. Tony has 9 fingers on X, which I never use. Tony has 9 fingers on TikTok, which is my, the social media that I use the most. So follow me there. Almost to 25,000 followers. Tony's Movies on Instagram, where I show off the movies behind me. And of course, here most Tuesdays, whether we have awesome guests or it's just horror movie talk, find us here on the Wicked Horror Show. And remember, watch us and listen to us. Do both.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Help a brother out.
Exactly.
For myself, A Knuckle on Instagram, besides doing this show with these lovely people, I'm also part of That Strange Show, which will be coming back soon. And also part of Re-Education of Nancy Ann Ritter, which we're supposed to record a couple episodes this week. I don't know if it's going to happen, but we'll see. But yeah, that's the show with Nancy Ann Ritter from the original Scream, where me and my friend Jeremy are schooling her on iconic horror because she doesn't really know anything about horror. So that's that.
Word up.
Yeah. So besides that, thanks everyone for being part of the show. Thanks everyone in the chat. And everyone have a great night, and we'll see you next time. Bye.